Welcome to production training tutorial number 2. We are talking about how to start Audition and then to do a basic voice recording. And we'll go over some of the details of what you'll see when you open up Audition. Now, in the first one, we talked about keeping everything clean. This screen, less than clean. Less than, a little bit. For example, kitty.jpg. What is kitty.jpg? I'm sure there's a lot of point to having kitty.jpg here. It's something somebody's going to use all the time, and that's why they left it. That's not why they left it on the desktop. It's a jack-o'-lantern made with Hello Kitty. Obviously, you'd use that frequently, so that's a good reason to leave it on the desktop. I'm going to go ahead and do us all a big favor and find the recycle bin. It's so disgustingly filthy, I can't even find the recycle bin. Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that, and goodbye, Kitty. Now, Adobe Audition is 1.5 on this computer. It's either here in the Start menu, or there's usually an icon on the desktop. Double-click on that. It'll start up. And then you have your basic setup. You have an empty bin right here, which is where all of your elements will go, whether you import them by double-clicking. And I'll just do that now so you can see. I'll double-click, and it just automatically opens up wherever I was last. So production bed library is here. You can go back there to the Airstaff folder and find sound effects. You can find other things in your folder and double-click on that, or just hit open, and then it will import it right into here. So you'll have it to use later. So this is your work area. You have an edit view and a multi-track view. Your multi-track view is where you'll actually put the commercial together with maybe one voice track here, another voice track here, some sound effects here, and then music down here. You may use more if you hover in this area here, any one of these blank spaces, and use the scroll on the mouse. You can start to see more tracks. Obviously, it starts to get a little more confusing the more you zoom in. I usually leave it so I can see about 4 or 5 tracks. If you come out here and scroll, you'll actually go up and down. You can see this is now track 8. If I scroll up, it's track 2. If you hover over this bar area, this green bar, then you can scroll in and out, and you'll see what that does in another tutorial later. Now, I'm going to use Edit View because I want to record my voice. There's 2 ways to go about it. You can hit this record button. It's generally a bad idea. It'll open it up and get everything ready to go. But if you've already imported something, if you see a file here and you hit record, it's going to record right over to the top of that file. In that case, undo will be your best friend. Generally, it's just a good idea just to hit this new WAV file icon. Hit that. It'll open this up. Should always say 44.1 stereo 16-bit. If it doesn't say 44.1 stereo 16-bit, go slap the last person who was here because they did it wrong. Tell them they did their commercial wrong and they need to redo it before the production director gets angry. So, 44.1 stereo 16-bit every single time. Hit OK, and now you have a blank work area. It's untitled, and it's ready to go. So if you want to record, turn your microphone up, turn everything else down, especially the speakers. If you're in the Lewiston studio upstairs, do not touch the button, the little knob that says do not touch. There's no point. There's no reason to touch that. That's why it says do not touch. If I catch you touching it, I will slap you. Understand? Okay. Okay, so the microphone is up and ready to go. I'm going to hit record, and there I go. I can hit that, and then you get ready, and then, read over real quick, and then just start voicing whenever I'm ready. It doesn't matter, because when you stop it, when you're all done voicing, and you stop it, then I can click here. Let's say this is the beginning of my commercial, this part right here. I'm going to click right here, hold it down, go to the left, and then just hit the delete key. And then that part is all gone, and now I just have the 30 seconds of my commercial, or 15 or 60 or however long it is of my voice. And then I will save that as my voice. I'm going to put it in my Airstaff folder, in production, in what I'm calling a training commercial. Now I'm going to call it Voice Raw. That way, it is here. It is ready to go. It's exactly how I voiced it. I'm also going to immediately save it as Voice Edit. Normally those wouldn't already be there because you haven't created them yet, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I already created a Voice Raw and a Voice Edit just to speed things up. Now, I have a Voice Raw and I have a Voice Edit. The raw version is for me to come back to when I screw up the Voice Edit, when I put too many effects on it, when I accidentally delete something and then save it, when I can't undo something that I did. I still have that Voice Raw file because then I don't have to go back and revoice it. Maybe I'm working in the break room and I don't have access to a microphone right now because the other two studios are taken or what have you. There's any number of reasons why that's appropriate. So now I have both, and that's great. I've done a fantastic job. The production director is very happy, and life is just generally good for everybody. So that is how you start up Audition, and that is how you record a voice track. Thank you for joining me.